Fresh eyes, fast talk. I am Han Blackheart, also known as Critical Eeks.
I
Joining me
am.
as I am blessed to have is the talent himself, Valedore.
Valedore. I interrupted because I didn't know you were going to do a thing.
It's all good. When you look that good, you can pull it off, my man. Today we are going over Secret Level, and this is the episode.
It,
What's the
it's ep-
title?
it's episode 4, and then the
Episode
episode is Rebel, Rebel, Rebel.
Episode 4, Rebel, Rebel, Rebel. And it follows the Unreal Tournament
It's called
games.
Unreal Tournament Zan.
Okay, in Zan, we'll figure out why it's called Zan later on. Let's go ahead and we'll just jump right into this fucking thing. We have some
Okay,
impassioned
no. Hold on.
feelings.
So,
Go on.
so the preamble here is that like
Alrighty.
Unreal Tournament was an arena multiplayer like FFA free for all like teen game to where it's like it was just specifically there's no storyline, there was no like real like world building or anything. It was a very straight like bare bones multiplayer shooter that originally had the Doom physics. Okay,
Oh,
and
no shit.
then
The old school PC game Dune.
right, it is a delineation of the evolution tree of like Quake and Doom.
Okay.
Which is why, like, the guns are even like when you get to the modern incantations of it, they're reminiscent of that. It's like the fucking saw blade launcher and shit like that, or the grenade launcher you see later. They're all big, meaty guns. Something that would look good in like the classic like 8-bit fucking pixelated,
Right. Taking up the bottom right of the screen as you have
right, something that looks chonky that you're like, oh, this is gonna fire something big.
big bazooka. Yeah, in the
You
90s,
know,
bazookas
the
were
big
huge.
fucking gun kind of shit.
Totally.
Right. So.
Let's go on.
The franchise died, and God, what was it? We found out was it 2015? I think was the last one, or was it 2000? Was it earlier than that?
I've got the AI description pulled up right now.
All right, hit us.
It says Unreal Tournament is a fast-paced, multiplayer-focused first-person shooter set in a violent, futuristic world where gladiatorial combat is a popular spectator sport. That's your general overview, in canon overview. Now we're going to see a bunch of stuff that implies canon that, correct me if I'm wrong here, Valedor, but doesn't exist in the games. Like there's a lot of
No, there's virtually no world building in the games. Like
okay.
you don't ever get any idea of any. Like it was literally just a platform for you to fight in with the most. It was like a sci-fi setting. Where it's like you had shit like people using like Darth Maul power lances, but instead of like the whole thing being lightsabers, the ends were kind of shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was very like ambiguous and undefined. It was just like again arena combat. It's just the classic early 2000 era of what like multiplayer shooters were, where it's like everyone starts in with like a default weapon. And then you run around the level and find bigger guns and so on and so forth, and it's just constant death and respawns. You know what I mean? Like but there was never a campaign. It never had a storyline. It was all just that. And then eventually they just stopped making the game and made the fucking engine itself, which I think is pretty lackluster.
Right, the Unreal Engine, which we see a lot of games today use, they stopped making their franchise, as you said. They stopped making the franchise itself and started just selling like, okay, well, this is the physics, the actual engine that is, that backs the games.
It is like the most mid, like bottom tier functional. Like I'm trying to think of an allegorical thing that like amounts to it, but it's just like the Walmart brand of game engines, where it's like yeah, it's the thing, but it's not going to taste as good or
right. It's more
or work
generic,
as well.
and people
Right,
can
it's
just jump into it.
Here's your generic game platform. Oh, you want something special? Oh, you should probably go look at one of the more interesting engines then. Like for instance, the RE engine, like what Capcom made with that, is fantastic. The RE engine is solid. Like any game developer that fucking just like does that. Or like also conversely, this is going to be a difficult take. Rockstar's physics engine is dog shit, and so like
I mean, to be honest, if you go and play GTA 5 now, you'll find exactly that's the truth.
Right. Like I understand the appeal. I understand why people have fun with it. I
Totally.
understand that like it's but like when you get into like how it works, like it is so janky and just not fluent.
No,
Like
it's
it's just
it's boxy and it's jarring almost. I literally downloaded it recently because I was like, oh, I see all these cool RP YouTubers. I really want to try to get into one of these, GTA Onlines, and I tried just driving around, and it's like, oh right, this is an Xbox 360 game.
well, and it goes off into our off mic conversation. It was like the difference between like Halo and Unreal. It's like when you hit something, you felt it. Like there was impact to your actions or shooting something. Like the physics, they all react in a like visceral way.
And you
You
find that
know,
the Unreal Engine doesn't deliver that.
I find the Unreal Engine and the Rockstar Engine don't deliver that. But let's get back on subject. So back into Unreal Tournament, secret level, Zan, rebel.
Rebel, rebel, rebel. Oh, motherfucker. Okay, I gotta pause real quick. I'll delete this later. Ah, fuck.
What?
So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into this one. As always, we love the intro. Very cool.
Yeah, love the intro. The intro is the best part about this whole episode.
And several of the episodes we've seen. So
God.
we get a VO saying, "Oh well, they're deploying mechs." We hear one worker say to the other that there's a new task list updating. A lot of sci-fi tech passive dialogue. So we get a line of robots coming out on this little product line, and one of them is not working properly. And so one of these human workers starts smacking this robotic piece of machinery, which is vaguely humanoid.
Okay, pause it here.
Yep.
So this is the first time they're gonna try and do this, where they try and fucking make you give a shit about the robots. Like, oh, it's being mistreated.
Right.
So right now, and this is something to keep in mind the whole fucking time, is they don't. As far as they're concerned, they are mindless. They aren't sentient. They aren't AI. They are programmed to do a very specific set of tasks that they don't even do particularly well.
Right. Right. You said this the first time we watched it through, but as far as the humans know, these workers, these laborers know, they're just punching a washing machine. This is a dishwasher. This is any mechanical thing you might find around your house. This is slamming your phone against your hand when it's not loading quickly enough. And even then, they don't know it has that level of intelligence. As far as they know, like you said, it is a piece of mechanical equipment that is designed to do a few things.
It is automaton. It is literally an automaton.
Exactly.
It is a mobile unit that can do a very specific set amount of tasks in a repetitive motion.
Yep. So he's kind of bumping it, and it says his coworker says, "Look, dude, it's rebooting. Give it a sec." And he hits it on the head with a wrench, and he says, "Work."
Side note there, that's problematic for later because like one of them gives a shit.
Good point. Good point. Good foreshadowing
Continue.
point. So he says, "Piece of crap," and he whacks it again. And the guy says, "No, Parker, hold on." And he stops him from hitting it a third or fourth time. And computer reboot initiated. So it stands up. And I guess this abuse, this couple of blows to the head ends up being what changes Zan, who we'll find out is this robot's, I guess, name.
We never get a full explanation
Ever.
for this. So yeah, I guess him getting whacked in the noodle fucking changed his programming.
Right. So every other robot on this line has a red light, and Zan has a green one. Now, it started off red, and it changes to green as it stands up.
This is a powerful question here too, where it's like they never address this, but it's like does anyone else see the fact that one of these fucking robots has a green light and all other ones have red?
Right.
Because it's like they never seem to notice that.
Well, and here's a little, I guess maybe a litmus test. I don't fully know what that means, but when your green light pops up on your phone or on your laptop, don't you absolutely notice? It's like, oh, this is recording me now. This is taking in new information now. Neither of these people who presumably have seen an innumerable amount of these robots go past them, they have absolutely, they don't pay attention to it at all, that this thing is now green
I mean,
light.
it's an ongoing thing throughout the rest of the story, though.
Right.
They never notice that one specific robot is the problem. It doesn't make sense in the narrative because if they would just kill that one, and all the pageantry that the justification for the rest of the calamity and retardation that happens throughout this.
Right,
I
the
probably should
literal
have talked about
story, the literal story which is to follow is like it's all, it theoretically could have been solved by finding the one that had a different color light for its eyes, but I guess that's maybe just for the audience to know, and everyone's dumb.
I mean, like they did a terrible job of that. It's like there's like situations where it's like sitcom stuff where you don't ask questions. Where it's like, for instance, early Family Guy, the question of whether or not Brian could be understood by other people.
Or Stewie, specifically Stewie.
Oh, Stewie, excuse me, right, Stewie.
Yeah, Brian communicates with other people, but Stewie, there's
You're right.
question
I
of
misspoke
like,
there.
can other people understand what Stewie is saying? Exactly.
Besides Brian, right?
Exactly.
And it's like if it's one of those things, they did a terrible job of conveying it to where it's like, oh, for the audience, like, so this one has the green light, but like everyone else is still seeing a red light kind of thing.
Right. If it's a meta wink,
because it's like,
if it's a meta wink, we don't see the eyes shut. It's just maybe.
Well, it's again, like we humans are programmed to notice like changes like that. Like you wouldn't just not notice the fact that out of all of these robots you have, all of a sudden one of them has a green light.
Especially after you just hit it with a wrench several times.
It's a light.
Right. And it's not only that, the opposite color. It's not like it comes up with an orange light or a blood orange light, which could be easily confused for red. It is the opposite color on the color spectrum at green. Curious. So I guess we'll just say that maybe we're supposed to know and they're not, because they never, ever, ever justify that.
We are not giving them that justification. So just add that extra layer of stupidity to everything else we're about to say.
Exactly. That's one of those things that we're just never going to get an answer to. So it says, these guys operational without you beating them to pieces. I guess just subtitle mishap there. Parker laughs.
Again, more
cares,
trying
man?
to convey that sympathy for the robots. But again, this is only getting more problematic as one of the two people has like sympathy for them.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to be like, hey man, like don't hit it. And even then, it's not necessarily a sympathy like these things are thinking and feeling. It's like, dude, you don't gotta hit the fucking machine. It's gonna work. Like, you know, it's like you're behind the line. It's like you're behind your coworker in line at the coffee machine. The coffee machine's not kicking out coffee and he just starts beating the shit out of it. And you're like, dude, it works. Right. Just give it a fucking second. I don't want you to break it before it gives me my coffee. Like, even then, again, this just reinforces the point that they have no idea that these are sentient creatures, or sentient automatons.
Well, this one has suddenly become awoken. Right. One of the robots, due to fucking fractal head trauma, has become.
This one has CTE, and now it's becoming a person, I guess. So we see from its perspective as one of the workers, the mean one is like, who cares, man? Yeah, let's just go break some rocks and get out of here, to show that they're minors. With an ER, to be clear.
They look fully grown.
He said, let's get moving. Right, so let's get moving or we won't meet our quota. So, deploying all miners to station. So all the robots go walking, but we see Zan kind of do one of these with his visor. Probably some indication that he's different because of this perceived
What
injury.
I think is trying to convey resentment for the damage.
Yes.
He's like inspecting. It's like now he's sentient. He's aware of what happened. Oh, look, they hurt me.
Yeah, that scans. That absolutely scans.
And then we get the montage of the fact that these robots are poorly programmed.
Yep, exactly. So they go out and they float across the open space onto this asteroid. As quote, intriguing music is playing. As we know, we love these subtitles. The music. So as this intriguing music plays, they kind of float across space. Zan looks over at his fellow robots and sees that they have red eyes. You know, we're, I guess, supposed to assume that he's registering that. So they're kind of walking around, And we see from the perspective of the robots that there are markings on the asteroid where they're theoretically sensing some kind of resource below the surface. One of them gets stuck as this harvester is pulling up to him. And one of the workers is like, "Hey man, stop! We got a robot. We got a robot stuck." And then presumably the one that doesn't care is like, "We're already behind schedule." You hear the computer say, "Impact alert!" as this grinder sucks in that stuck robot. And
Zan takes it in.
Exactly. Zan sees that, and you can see it's not going. It's not going down well. He doesn't accept this. The rest of the robots are blowing apart, trying to mine this stuff, and a random comet hits the asteroid and takes out a couple of the robots next to Zan. And Zan is being pushed around now, and apparently, for some reason, this human is getting in Zan's face. Again, trying to get the coffee maker to make fucking coffee. Like you're at your job where you have 1,000 other things going on and this one piece of machinery isn't working. And we might have missed this, but earlier at some point they're like, they got us working 24-hour shifts, which
right, we forgot to
which doesn't happen, but it paints a picture that these are the underclass, working class. They don't have much say. There's no union to speak up for them.
Well, and again, we're getting this juvenile perspective on capitalism bad. It's like, oh, look, they have to work a lot. That's not good, right?
Right. They treat their employees so bad you have to work 24 hours. You had to work a quadruple.
Sorry, my thing shifted in there.
You're good. So we've got these workers working in oh baby a triple, and one of their machines, which is just another piece of equipment they're working with, might as well be a hammer, isn't working. So
again, it is important to remember during any of this that these people have no idea that this thing can think.
Yep, exactly.
Like, as far as they're concerned, it's just like when your car fails, when like something doesn't work and you smack it out of abject frustration.
Yep.
Because you're a fucking human being.
Yep. Or it's the 90s and that's how TVs used to work. You'd hit them on the side.
Oh, I can't tell you the amount of times hitting something has solved my problem.
It's funny because then you look at the person next to you who's kind of giving you the like calm down eyes, and you hit it and it works, and you give them the like,
what now? Yeah.
See? You fucking see? So anyway, he's kind of pushing Zan around. Zan's thinking about it. See the little eye scanning back and forth as I guess the humans blow apart one of the other ones. He says, well, at least you get to stop working, because working class is always struggling. And that's when, right before this worker executes one of the other robots, Zan steps in and grabs the arm of the worker. He says, "What? Let go." And this is an innocent human. And again, we're supposed to be rooting for this violent droid. He does his best to grab a rock and defend himself. And
yes, I guess this machine that's malfunctioning.
Right, and Zan catches his arm and is like, nah.
Which imagine as a human how terrifying this would be. Like, all of a sudden, this thing that shouldn't be able to think, feel, or do anything besides mind, with these auto-played runtime things, like, grabs you.
Yep.
Like,
again,
with no context of, like, as far as they know, they don't think. And so much of this story, like, would be fixed if Zan had an internal monologue.
True.
But you just have this machine that can't even, it has no emotion. It doesn't have eyes. It can't even, like, make an angry face. You just have this stupid green flashing light. Like, it's like they try so hard to make you give a shit, and it's a fucking robot. I don't care.
Right.
I'm on the sides of the humans that have fucking actual lives and families and women and children, besides just this non-sentient mining droid that has a grudge because all of a sudden it, like, woke up and saw other washing machines being hit that don't think or feel or give a shit that they're being hit in the first place.
Right. Exactly. Well put. Truly well put. And so you see this look of panic across this human's eyes as, for some reason, and this kind of becomes important later, 4 other robots with green eyes now start approaching him, and he says, no. And then we cut to black, and from the black screen, across our perspective, we see two dead workers floating through space.
One of which, sorry,
No. One of which was fighting for
was
them.
an advocate for the fucking robot.
Saying, stop hitting the fucking thing, dude. Exactly.
Multiple times he was like trying to step in. So it's like they're not even, again, it's like you're trying to make me give a shit and care about this downtrodden robot that suddenly woke up and he's murdering people that have like nothing to do with his problem.
Just working class spacemen. And
well, it's like he's not even the one causing the violence against the robots.
Right. Seriously. Yeah.
It's like your cause is completely invalidated the second you killed the person that was a non-aggressor.
Right. Exactly. So then we cut to a news report who is like, dozens of humans have been killed in the cold gulf between worlds. The machines rebelled. We cannot fathom what turned them from useful tools to merciless killers. Now,
okay, so this, I was about to say, go
for
on.
For me, I don't know if this is propagandistic hyperbole, where they're like
in world, if this is the government being like
exactly
like exaggerating the situation.
They killed dozens of them when only 2 died, or if this is an implication that this happened several other times, other places. They never specify.
No, I mean it's definitely specifically referring to this incident. But here's the point here. It's like, what motivation, even from the perspective of it being a propagandized statement, like, would they have? All it does is make them look like unstable.
Right.
It's like so instead of like they're trying to set up that they're trying, like that the robots, are fighting against, a corrupted whatever. But it's like, even in the context of setting up a corrupted government, what motivation and what like gain do you have from being like, oh, these things we use, they killed dozens as opposed to 2.
Right, yeah.
Like the amount of outrage from human life loss from any community, no matter how totalitarianism it is going to be huge.
2 should be fine. Like,
right, like when you like there's no motivation to, if anything, you would want to lower the number.
Right, because we've had the situation under control. We're still in control. It's
You're trying again. You're exactly that. You're trying to promote strength. You're trying to promote control, and instead you're like, oh, these things got so out of control. We let what? Dozens of people died.
Right, our vacuum cleaners killed dozens of people. Yeah, turn into merciless
as opposed to
killers.
what is shown, and what I believe is what the in-world wants you to believe is that 2 people died, and they're exaggerating to vilify the robots, which doesn't make sense in the context of the world, because again, they're fucking robots.
Right? Why do that? Yeah, exactly.
If the story would make sense if these people were human, if it was a slave class of people or prisoners or anything like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To where it's like, okay, you have the human condition. It's like these people were put against impossible odds, and they're treated disposable, and human beings don't stand for that. And it's like they're put in this tournament, and through their sheer strength of will and ingenuity and determination, they against all odds persevere.
Right. They, in essence, as you said earlier, this is a Temu gladiator. Like, this is you're taking all of the important parts of Gladiator, removing them, and just going, well, yeah, no, it's a story of rebellion. So they say, we don't know.
Oh, it should also be said that robots aren't a fucking thing in the game. They're not a big deal. There's 2 robot characters you can pick.
Really?
But there's never been it's not like this is like an established trope of the game.
Right. Like,
it has nothing to do with it.
This isn't like a playable race.
All this is manufactured. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted. What?
No, but like, this isn't a playable race, you're saying?
Well, no, they have robot characters you can select at the character selection.
Okay,
but it's not like this is canon where there's like a bunch of robots, or like there's a robot rebellion in the game or any shit like that.
Some kind of uprising, or even like cannon fodder where you're supposed to like kill a bunch of robots to start off. That's not a
no, it's not. The only incursion of robots in Unreal Tournament is that there's a couple characters in every game you can pick that are robotic.
Jesus. Okay. Well, that's good to know, because that's kind of...
They don't look like this, for the record, either. Continue.
Sort of what I assumed is that, like, all right, well, maybe, like, that's the story behind why you kill a bunch of robots to start, but that's not even a thing.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not a thing.
So they're doing the
It's not a thing. It's
so
every character has a special ability. You get like a 12-person character select screen. Everyone picks who they use, and like the same team can't repeat the characters. And then you go and you fight, like a first to 50 kills or a capture the flag or kind of like all that. It's classic, 2000s era
it
multiplayer.
makes me wonder, it's another one of these secret level classic faux pas where it's like, well, so what are you representing here? Are you like
Why robots? Again, it's like if you want us to care and you're trying to do this like this fucking stupid anti-capitalism bullshit, or like fighting against authority when being a lower class. Why the fuck wouldn't you make them humans? Why are they robots?
right?
They can't talk, emote, or anything. They don't even have do the character design to where they have fucking eyes. They can at least make angry or sad.
Well, and there's the
You know?
basic question of like, okay, so they're in the Unreal Tournament. Why are they in the Unreal Tournament? And to your exact point, that would be a perfect time to go like, okay, so this is the working class or the gladiatory class or whatever that like we're trying to, that we're telling the backstory of as to why they're being put to the sword and fighting in front of whole crowds. But instead,
And right, and you could have the other side have way better equipment, but as you'll see, it's like it's not even the case. They're basically even.
right, right, especially after a while. So it says we don't know the case. We don't know what happened. We do know they killed Landry equipment and they murdered dozens of the brave Leandry soldiers who protected them, who protect all of us. So again, as you said, I imagine this is poignantly meant to portray propaganda, that they're exaggerating about the numbers of people, and then it
Right, to get the public against the
right.
robots.
So it says, and so
Which again
go on.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't. Truly, it doesn't. Not for the narrative that they, the corporate overlords, would be trying to put forth. That's not what
Robots.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the message that they'd be trying to send. Hey, a bunch of our coffee machines went crazy and killed a whole bunch of people, but don't worry, we're going to put them in front of you in the combat arena, which is what they say here. So we've brought them here where you, our citizens, can watch them pay for their crimes. And I can't help but be like, I guess at best a public execution. What you're hoping to do here, I mean, whether they know it or not, but one of the best case scenarios here is anyone out there that's considering rebelling that you're trying to quell preemptively is going, oh shit, I could go from being a nobody to getting put in the arena for rebelling. Like, oh, even a robot gets a chance to get out there and like be Maximus Decimus Meridius. Like this isn't a public execution. This isn't a Seth.
It's the robots are given a fair chance to win.
Right, exactly.
It's like
this isn't a
and
punishment.
again, it's like even in the context of like trying to like be like, oh, this is what happened. Like it doesn't make sense because they're not people. It's like they didn't like go against the government. Even they were robots that killed two workers.
Right. Or
it's like
again, if you're following their narrative that the rest of the people are getting, they killed dozens of workers, and so now we're gonna pit actual humans against them because we're trying to punish them, not the humans, but the robots, and maybe then they'll learn their lesson.
Well, and so in the narrative of the show,
yeah.
Also, it's like besides that sub motivation of like trying to deter the rebellion instinct, it's supposed to be a spectacle. It's like, oh, we're giving them a show, like they're trying to act like this is like the Colosseum in the Roman times, where it's like, oh, all this stuff is corrupt and fucked up, but like we're keeping the public distracted by this. But it doesn't make sense in that context either, because short of the one that is broken and can actually think and use strategy, they just stand there and die.
Right.
So it wouldn't have been a spectacle either way. It's like you could have just like done like drawn and cornering, and it would have been more interesting and more of a spectacle. It doesn't make sense, even in their own stupid logical justification for the action, because they don't have the context that robot is sentient.
Right. A corporate overlord trying to maintain the illusion of control would just not tell the story of those two dead workers and would just crush these rebellious robots and
They would
continue
have just
business.
wiped all of them dead. We don't know
Exactly.
what happened
Continue
here.
business as usual. Why would you?
We've never seen this happen before.
Yep.
We are a government that manipulates and controls the people, and so what we want to do here is we want to know what, like, if they died from an accident. We would kill all of the robots and we replace them, because since they're robots, no one will ask any fucking
Because
questions.
no one could ever have conceived this happening. But that's not what
Right.
happens.
And instead they're like, oh, let's expose weakness.
Let's
And then let's put them on display specifically as a dog and pony show to crush rebellion, which only shows weakness in the action itself.
in front of a packed arena, by the way. If I'm looking at this and guessing how many like people are there are thousands
Easily.
of people in this space coliseum, right? So
It's just like, I just want a sidebar here too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like as gamers, as a lifelong, like literally there are pictures of like me with a fucking Nintendo controller above my crib. Like I played Mario when I was too young to read. Like as gamers, you want to see stuff like this do well. You want it to be good.
right.
And it's why it's so frustrating, why I get so fucking mad. Is because it's like it didn't need to be shitty. It's like they didn't have to use robots. There was no reason for that. It's not a thing in the games. It's like you could have made this relevant. You could have made the Unreal Tournament the modern day arena where the working class who steps out of line even slightly, like, show them just saying something like slightly off kilter to the higher up and being like, "Oh, you're going in the arena," and then I give a shit.
Right. Then you show us
know?
what the stakes are, what actual humans are facing, who we will be naturally sympathetic to. But instead, it's like, well, they killed those humans, but those humans deserved it because they hit the machine.
One of them, I guess, did. If you believe the logic of the show, fine. One of them was mistreating the robots. The other one wasn't. He was actually trying to stop it.
Yep.
So if anything, if you wanted me to give a shit, they should have spared the other human.
Yeah, then at least they're
and show that they have moral character.
Yep, they're not just a blender that's top opened up and will now take down a garbage disposal with an opinion.
You were mean. I'm killing you now.
Right,
like,
and you deserve it. And also rebel. But we'll get to that.
It fails on every level. It's like if you were gonna do the robots, then you need to have an internal monologue on Zan. You need to have like show the interior, show their perspective, and have its thoughts be fucking like DOS command text where you see its thoughts written out in text.
Right.
Right. Like, this isn't fair. How could they do this to me? I'm here. I'm human.
What am I? Like, go through all of that. Literally, like, almost literally humanize them.
That would fix it. That would make. I mean, like, I don't know if I would still give a shit because it's robots like killing humans.
Give more
you know what I mean? And then using the guise of rebellion for that, like they're gonna inspire people like this dumb fucking machine that just because it went, oh, look at me,
right?
You know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna go that route, then you need to do more than have it be a fucking robot with a green light.
Yep, with no monologue, absolutely no way to express itself other than gratuitous and indiscriminate violence.
Well, again, at the end, it does it expresses itself, and it doesn't appear to be particularly smart since it can only say one fucking thing.
Yup. Truly. So then these robots rise up to the into the floor of the Coliseum, and we see these literal thousands of humans. We'll call them organics because there are aliens in this universe, apparently.
Right. Yeah. I mean, aliens is kind of relative here, but different kind of creatures. We have no idea if this is Earth or anywhere.
I think they're on like some kind of asteroid from what we saw earlier, but again, they haven't listed it. They haven't called it. All we know is the name of the company
I will say this is another massive failure on the part of this, because it's like we have no context. We don't know what the society here is like. We don't know what a city is like. We don't know what the day-to-day life. We don't even know if the public are angry or satisfied with the government. We don't have any goddamn context for any.
They're clearly well entertained. You know what I mean? Like, they clearly...
Everyone seems to be having a great time.
Right. You ever been to a baseball game? It's like, it's not cheap. You get libations, you got snacks and beverages and, merch and that kind of thing. So it's like theoretically, this should be very similar to that. And anyway, so they say this will be a tournament like no other, where they fight for not just fame, not just glory. This is the
Well, right, because that is the premise of the original game. Is all cloud. It's like you enter the Unreal Tournament because you're a warrior and it's voluntary.
okay. Well, that's cool. They don't paint that picture at all, to be clear,
No, they don't.
because
Is that is the whole deal? It's like the regular tournaments. It's because you want the glory of being a fucking winner of the Unreal
well, in
Tournament.
any other context we have with gladiators, is like, well, they're forced to do this. So like that's all. I've never played the Unreal Tournament games. I don't know. I'm just coming into this just a critical thinking spectator, and it's like, oh,
But I want to re-emphasize the point that like their motivation here is not just to like and again it's such a weak plot thread that they're like trying to make examples of something that rebelled because again they're not goddamn people.
right,
But like the point of it of this to her and like the game is that this is going to be a spectacle. Or watch this interesting matchup where it's robots versus people, and it's like if there wasn't the one that again they don't know, they have no context for knowing, they do not know that one of the robots can think, right? And so you will see that the robots like if they have no idea that this one can think, they would have just stand there and die. They would have just stand there motionless and gotten shot.
right. There
So
is
like
nothing for us to mine here. What do we do? Like,
the whole setup for this, the whole setup that allows the rest of the narrative to happen is that they're doing this for the spectacle. And again, you have to understand that these people watched humans fight to the death in this place over and over again because this is a regular thing like the fucking Olympics.
right,
And so they're like, oh, well, this time it's like not only are we going to show a spectacle to be seen for the ages, but we're going to stress rebellion. The logic of its own story doesn't make sense because it shows them just standing there and getting shot and falling over, which would be insanely boring for anyone that's ever seen a human die.
right. Especially with this much buildup, this will be the ultimate spectacle.
So please continue because this is as you'll see what plays out is a wet fart until the one green light robot does something.
Yep. This day, our brave warriors fight to deliver justice.
And we're
Pulsing
gonna get the
music.
first 5 organics killed here.
Right. So, by the way, keep track at home. Let us know if we got our count
Oh no,
wrong.
no, it's not this one. This set doesn't lose a human. It's the next one where they start dying. I don't think they lose a human.
We
in
want to
this.
make sure we keep track of the amount of dead humans that these coffee machines kill, that these walking
Right,
garbage
because
disposals
the
kill.
initial cost of organics that triggered all of this was 2.
Right.
So let's see what the revenge against 2 dead humans amounts to.
Exactly. And so there's this software engineer, and I will have a point about him later because I believe I could fix this story literally with just 3 lines of dialogue, a quick blip following this software engineer. But anyway, so she says pretty much do it, and he turns on the Unreal Tournament. The floor starts shifting around, and cover begins growing out of the floor, and there's,
It should also be said that none of this is like the game.
it's
When
not.
you play the game, it's preloaded levels that are like semi-futuristic that have like various features, but this doesn't look anything like any of the games that ever came out. This whole like arena that has like the sides and the falling off the
Shifting
edges and like
pieces and stuff.
that you activate and yeah, like all that. None of that is from the game, so it's another failure on the part of
Well, and
this.
again, it's another secret level faux pas of like, well, why choose that? Why make up this
The whole
bit
premise
of
of
the
this
story?
show is that it is representing video games and
Right.
giving them like narratives and stories and universe.
So you have all
And
this
it's
to
like
work
you can just
with.
tell that it's like you can just tell it's people that never played the games that don't give a shit. It's oh well okay like give it like and they get this like little list of things they need to incorporate. And literally the only thing here is it's like the announcer from the game, it's an arena, and the guns. And everything else is completely wrong.
Right.
A real tournament, every character had a special ability. You would activate a special ability. Not one of these has
It'd
it.
be a
No,
way
none of them.
cooler
Not
spectacle to see someone do something that's like, whoa, that people who played Unreal Tournament would know, hey, that's a special ability. And plebeians like me would be like, oh, that was cool looking. But instead, they take the time to show that the level moves. That it,
they use the setting of Unreal Tournament as a loose basis for a child's view on anti-capitalism.
which we will continue because it only gets worse from here with regards to that.
Absolutely.
So they count down 3, 2, 1. And as Valedore was saying, these initially these robots are getting fucked up. The humans all have guns. They have access to guns nearby them. All these red lighted robots, which again, I want to make a quick callback to the fact that the ones that were joining Zan initially had green lights, theoretically, when they killed those two.
And there should be 4 of them, and you only get 2 now. So it's him, and then as you find out later, he's controlling this one.
Yep. So it's just Zan looking around right now, watching all these robots die, and you hear double kill, which I don't know that we ever determined exactly.
No, I did. Unreal Tournament did it first.
Unreal Tournament was out first. Did they do the like double kill
Yes,
thing first?
absolutely.
They did.
Yes, that is before Halo.
Shots fired, Bungie proper, because that's nuts. That's so iconically Halo these days that like
Halo's the more widely known one. You
Agreed.
Like you said, you never played an Unreal Tournament. Yeah. You of course played Halo because it was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For sure, Unreal Tournament like that was a thing in the first game.
You know what?
Like from
props to Unreal Tournament. Then that's cool because Halo took that and made it their thing, and that's clear. I mean, if all is to be believed here,
Halo did it better. I mean, as a person that played both games, it's like like we were talking about before, it's like Halo did it better. It's
right on.
Like they don't own announcers being cheesy about like shit that's happening.
True,
you know what I mean?
But there are a couple of like straight up, if they were Unreal Tournaments first, like there are a couple like we get first blood, we get double kill, and
yeah, absolutely.
I'll call another one out because I believe there's at least one more. But anyway, so these droids,
you'll see them as we go on.
These coffee maker people are getting absolutely owned, and we're down immediately to just Zan. And Zan identifies that there is a weapon, but gets shot as he's running over towards said weapon. And this person is like, yeah, cool, I got this guy. And Zan tries to crawl over to the cannon. And this guy is like, and he kicks him over. And
this should also be said really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, as organic, like going up to a robot that could presumably just rip you limb from limb, like, or just grab your leg and crush a bone. Why would you ever risk going right up to it?
Yep. Well, you pointed this out earlier, but I think it's important for me to bring up that there is no scale on the fragility of these robots.
Oh, absolutely. Their durability is only determined by when the plot needs them to be able to take something or not take something.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like there's no baseline for, like, as you'll see, it's like, okay, so you're supposed to like assume that the pistols are the weakest weapon they have, right? And like it easily took down all the robots,
including Zan. I mean, Zan gets dropped. I think maybe this guy's carrying like a low grade rifle, but drops him immediately. Moreover, walks over, and stomps on his head. Signal is lost. So maybe that one wasn't Zan. It was the other green one that Zan was controlling.
No, it's not Zan.
That's what
it's the one that Zan was controlling. It appears that he's controlling him, or it's just another one that like he like made awake.
It's like his green-eyed homie or something. Okay. So that was
he spread the bug that made him sentient to another robot.
That's on me. That last one was not Zan. It was just this other robot who also had green eyes. Though I'll say, before this point here, we have really no way of telling.
He has a 3, Zan has a 1.
Is that what it is?
You have to pay extremely close attention, but it does show in the beginning that he has the 1 on his chest. And so when it pops up to number 2 that he presumably spread the bug to, so it's also awake and sentient. But the plot line wants to mislead you. It's intentionally trying to make you think it's him. That's why the second it dies, it cuts to Zan in the cell.
Well, thank you. And honestly, good eye, because I fell for that. So, somber music playing, and
Oh, it's so sad. These fucking washing machines got killed.
Right, seriously. And that's genuinely what they're trying to push. As now I see Zan, who has the number one on their head, is like in the holding cell, the kind of waiting in the wings.
And you get the count too. So there was 50 robots apparently, or initially. Now it's 33,
Okay.
which doesn't make sense because we only saw 5 die. Or I guess the holding cell can only hold 50. I'm not really sure what they're trying to convey there.
I'm not sure either. But we go to the main big bad boss lady, and she says, I was expecting a battle, not an execution. Which, like, were you and why?
Again, like this is where the story falls apart. Like it's like there's literally no reason for her to assume like the robots that weren't awakened by Zan, which is one, like can't think. They can't do anything besides the thing they were programmed for.
Right.
They literally stood there and died.
They weren't even very good
What
at the
fuck-
thing they were programmed for.
What like again the whole motivation of this is the spectacle and also like reinforcing that rebellion is wrong.
Right.
So you're trying to entertain the public and what like there's no indication, there's no reason for them to ever believe that these robots were going to pick up guns and fire.
Yep. She says I was expecting
They don't have it in their programming.
But this
So this doesn't make any fucking sense. She is just wanton evil. She's I'm bad for the sake of being bad. I'm the bad guy. Look at me do bad, irrational, stupid things because I'm so bad and angry.
I'm the evil capitalist CEO king lady. And I was expecting
It's
some
pathetic.
spectacle, a little drama to make the message take hold, she says.
This is third grade level writing, dude.
Right.
It's like this is like baby's first attempt.
Yep. Or yeah, moreover, high schoolers' first attempt where they're like, isn't this deep? How like it's anti-establishment and like there are overlords, but like they're trying.
Oh, I didn't even think of this one out, but like, yeah, like people are robots and they just go on about their day until they're finally awoken, and then when you're woken up, you get a green light.
They're gonna put you in the grinder, but they want a spectacle, not just to kill you. It's like,
Like the robot's first words are like, "You don't need the police, bro."
yeah, right, exactly. Defund the police, but also no guns for anyone.
Continue.
Don't get us started. So she says, I mean, there's nothing dramatic about crushing the dream of a toaster. And it's like, yeah, right.
This was your
What
idea.
are we doing here?
You're in charge. What the fuck did you think these goddamn mining robots were gonna do?
Declared.
They're all programmed to be John Wick. No, they ride goddamn rocks and they fail at it. The montage shows the ones that aren't awoken suck.
You just said that this was going to be the spectacle of a lifetime without having any reason to do that, and now you're like, we're not supposed to be crushing the dream.
Why are you in charge?
Truly.
It's like it drives me nuts when you do these fucking like evil government shit, and the evil governments or empire or whatever, they're just like mindlessly evil and completely stupid.
Yep. Well, it's like Little Platoon. They're evil, and you know that because, well, they're evil. They yeah. That or Ryan George even. It's like, oh, evil, huh? What's her deal? It's like, well, she's evil.
You can write evil, but you have to write motivation. You have to understand the human condition and justify their action.
Right. Or at least
and none of that's here. It's
at
just,
all.
It's just a fucking cartoon villain being like, get them.
I want more. It should be evil, more evil looking. So anyway, she says it's not about crushing the dreams of a toaster. Hopefully the next round will be a better show. She gives him an intense look. And
again, what indicator would you have that anything would be different? They're all the same kind of robot. They all have the same programming.
Right.
You don't know that one of them can fucking think.
So you just put vacuum cleaners out there, but this Necris captain grunts affirmatively, I'll add. So
great.
He walks out of the room, and we then cut to a holding cell full of these coffee maker people. And only one of them has a green light. But again, they don't seem to notice, like, this is the one, even though he's literally standing front and center.
How does no one else notice that one of the robots is, like, clearly different?
And he's not hiding at all, dude. I'm not exaggerating. You can count the lights on either side. He's front and center in the most literal way. So they walk out and they like bust out their batons like they're gonna bully these things, even though they're robots. They follow fucking orders, and
They're not even programmed. They wouldn't resist. They have no reason to resist. They don't think.
also like unless we're supposed to take that news report as actual like implied mythology that happened, they've grabbed way more than were involved. There were, I think, 5 total in the original incident where those 2 guys died. So unless the news was telling the truth and a bunch of them simultaneously rose up and they didn't feel the need to
They would all have
that,
green lights.
you'd think. Good point. Good point. So
And why? I mean, like, it's like also if you're that afraid of them, why aren't they restrained and separated? Why would you have all of these automatons that can rip a man limb from limb in the same fucking room?
and they are completely unhindered, and there's a room of probably 24 of them, 3 full rows of at least 10 across, led
And
by
how many dudes do they send in?
2 with batons.
2 to fight robots
But
that presumably are man killers.
you forget, my friend, there's exciting music playing.
Great.
So
Yeah, it's exciting because how
music
dumb it is.
plays, exactly. And so 5 more robots are brought up, and there are 5 more organics. Now, these are all aliens, just so we're clear. And the announcer counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, this is such a trivial point to bring up with the rest, but okay, so as this happens, Zan pulls the. So there's 3 robots in the front and 2 in the back. Zan is front and center. Pulls the 2 next to him down to dodge the initial shots. Okay, so starting to.
Right, and the other mindless robots just take them because, again,
They're standing there.
It breaks the world. They are not programmed to do anything.
They're literally just.
So the whole spectacle that they're trying to get up here, which again they do not know that this one can think, wouldn't have worked.
Nope.
They would have all just stood there if Zan wasn't there and died again mindlessly.
Right, exactly. And so Zan ends up getting behind cover, and these organics, these aliens, are grabbing big guns, like bazooka level guns. And the other bots are now trilling to one another, and progressively their eyes are turning green. Theoretically, Zan is spreading their virus to the other robots. I guess making.
And also, this is the one credit that this thing gets.
Yeah.
Because the guns are correct. Minus the pistol, which is not in the game. The pistols that they show, they're not a thing.
Okay.
But all the guns they pick up, like the one you'll see in a little bit where it shoots us the saw blades, shoots the saw blades, it is all game accurate. This is the only game accurate thing in here, is when you see one of the big guns, that is a part of the game. Everything else has nothing to fucking do with Unreal Tournament.
Which is cool. Props to the writers for that, because they're going off of their source material and writing a story.
For this one very small concession.
It is small, but we're a credit where it's due family here. So they shoot a bazooka at the cover, and all the robots go scattering, and they grab, well, most of the robots go scattering and grab guns. The announcer announces first blood, which means I guess one of them died. So you see Zan look down at one of the guns, and then there is, as you said earlier, kind of a DOS font programming, words flash across the screen, and there's a diagnostic of what this firearm is. Which is
here's another problem with this too, is why wasn't the announcer in the first arena round?
He counted down. I think he was, because he was the one that was like double kill that we talked about earlier.
Was that in the first bit? Okay, yep. That's my mistake. Okay, so that wasn't there. Sorry about that, YouTube folks.
He was off fighting in his coffee machine. No, but so Zan is doing a quick test, looks across the arena and takes out one of the organics. And the announcer says retribution, and there's a picture of Zan up on the big screen. So then one of the aliens is shooting a minigun, and
this is another instance of their durability being convenient whenever it is, because again you see the little pistol be able to basically one-shot them.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, this thing can stand up against a fucking chain gun, just whacking the fuck out of it and not go through.
Exactly. When the narrative needs for one of them to use it as cover, the other one is completely, almost bulletproof. Yes, it does eventually kill it, but this takes And I mean, to even count the shots that connect with it would be superfluous. Like it's so many. It's taking full on,
There's so many.
and it gets to the point where it's point blank before he finally falls, and then one of the green-eyed robots shoots the organic with the minigun and takes him down. Then is, and this is kind of a cool use of both the mechanics they've introduced, which is the guns from the game, and also this is a robot. So the robot is able to calculate the angle off of the pillar that he needs to use to shoot this frisbee, this danger frisbee, off of
It's a saw blade launcher essentially. It's like superheated saw blades.
yes,
It works this way in the game. They ricochet off surfaces,
which is cool.
so that's also game canon.
Again,
So he like calculates exactly how to get behind the cover by ricocheting the shot to get him.
yep, and he aims at the wall and it bounces off the wall and it catches this alien directly in the neck. If you're keeping track at home, I want to say that's like 9 dead organics.
We'll keep track at the end of the round. So it's like the cost, the initial or the inciting incident was 2 organics dead, right? And so it's like, so what is the cost of their little dog and pony show to get revenge? I mean, as far as the public knows, it was dozens, right? So now we have another 5 dead at the end of this round.
Yep. So they're fighting, we'll kind of glaze over the details here, but I mean, here's, props where it's due. The animation looks great. This is cool. They do a great job. They spend a lot of money making this look really good.
I mean, the animation looks good. I mean, that is one thing I'll give to this one's credit too. It's this, the animation's good. Everything else is stupid. It's just poorly thought out. It's bad. It is not even first year. This is like someone that has no writing training whatsoever, like writing a story where it's like the subtext and everything is so juvenile, pedantic, and surface level. It has nothing to say, and it doesn't make sense in the context of its own world.
Yeah.
It is a failure.
I'll agree in that it seems first draft as fuck. Where it's like this was some interesting bones that they as a team seemingly could have gone over several times. They got paid through the teeth. Like more than I could more than I could ever hope to be paid for writing anything. These people were paid individually to make this, and again, they have so much to go off of. There's already a game. You already have a built-in fan base for people who are going to be rooting for this, even just people like yourself or I who want video game content that's non-video game related to be good.
Or I mean, do the interesting thing. It's like don't make them downtrodden. Make it a fucking sci-fi future world where everyone has everything, and go into the type of people who would be willing to risk their lives for just glory and clout.
Yeah.
Like go into like why they would do that and who they are to like put their life on the line to be something more in a world where it's hard to be exceptional.
Yep, truly. And honestly, that's brilliant.
And that would be interesting.
I'm already interested in that story. Like that's already cool. Show us that tavern.
Because usually gladiatorial stories are it's like, oh, I'm forced to be here and all this shit. And it's like, well, what if you weren't? What if you're just like fuck it.
What if
I want to be great.
Yeah.
It's like in a world where everyone can have everything and exceptional is fucking, poultry. How do I stand above? Well, it's by risking the only thing that people can't replicate, my fucking life.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
And instead you get robots.
Right.
That are downtrodden because they're toasters and someone smacked.
Yeah. Also rebel. But again, we'll get to that. So there's a sweet grenade hop. Again, cool animation. And the robot kills the final.
And a solid video game reference. Great video game reference.
Yep. Everyone.
Like, I mean, it is begrudgingly that I pay this thing any compliments. But, like they got one solid reference in.
Yeah.
The ricochet shot too. Those are both solid video game references that they did.
The grenade hop is
although I'll say this, grenade jumping isn't an Unreal thing.
It's more of a Halo thing.
Yeah, that was never like something you did on a real tournament. That wasn't.
We're talking Halo proper too. This is Halo Combat Evolved because I want to say that by Halo 2 they had gotten rid of that.
There's very few games. I mean, like it's become a thing and like a meme since Halo, like solidified it. But like, I'm fairly confident that the concept of grenade jumping is linked directly to Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, that's cans. Because that was also the game where if there were grenades on the ground, they would explode. But we'll do some Halo content someday.
Fuck yeah.
So anyway, there now we cut back to the CEO and this other guy, her CFO, we'll call him, and he says they fought with coordination and they showed a surprising ability to manipulate the crowd, which. Did they? Oh, that's right. Because at the end, and this is important, at the end, the robot raises his fist and the crowd goes fucking wild. So that's what he's
He does
referencing
the
there.
fight the power symbol for literally no reason.
Right.
What context and understanding does he have of any of this? He's never seen pop culture. He's never seen a video.
Right.
He presumably has no concept of human history or
I
ideology.
was just gonna say, did they download history into their fucking mining machines? Like they're veritable.
There's no reason. Like,
jackhammers?
why would that be the symbol for him? Like, he's literally stealing a classic human symbol
Right.
that usually symbolizes fight the power.
And so
You know,
the CFO is like, we don't want empathy to take root. Like, we got to be careful here. And she says they only need to survive long enough to put on a good show. And again, I can't help but wonder why. What are you talking about? What are you on about? Why have you
these mindless robots that are programmed to mine. Like, why would they put on?
right?
Again, it's time and time again. If he didn't move those other two robots down, all of them would have just stood there and gotten fucking killed.
Also,
They had no idea he was going to do that. They have no idea one of them can think. It doesn't make sense.
Him putting on a show long enough or him surviving long enough to put on a good show has happened. He just killed 5 fucking people. So now put him down and then move on with the rest of the tournament.
Or kill the one with the green light and keep like doing this dog and pony show of killing fucking robots.
Right.
You know, pay attention and notice that, oh, like again, even in the context, they would be watching this. They would have the same cameras we have.
Yep.
Shouldn't she be able to realize, like, oh, that one pulled them down, and then all of a sudden after they were connected, they started acting much more strategic. It's like, if we just get rid of the one that did that, problem fucking solved.
Right. Except the problem of me wanting them to be good, but not like really good, but like also to die, but in a way that's exemplifying. Like, so anyway.
I'm stupid and evil.
Yeah, right. Yep. So the CF, but also powerful because I am a CEO. The CFO, the guy, the blue bald guy, walks away as exciting music plays. And she looks after
Debatable.
him with some concern. Not if you talk to the parentheses of the subtitles. Exciting music playing. So then we cut back and there is violence and we're sort of, it's a little bit of a montage here, I think. I don't know that this is in direct sequence. So it says prisoners 3250. So they go back in with a team to pull more robots out. And we kind of, again, we're on a montage of violence. There's a couple of dying robots, a couple of dying organics. I think we see 2 organics die on screen so far for those of you keeping track. And maybe that's what the code is on that, going back and forth, where it's like the ratio number we're seeing is like humans versus robots. I think.
I don't think it's a ratio. It just seems like the cell capacity. That's what I think it is. It's like they had 50 to start.
Oh, okay.
Or like
So
you
it's
had 50 in there.
18 out of 50 left. Okay.
Right, because it shows 33 initially.
So the technician is now talking and says their code doesn't make any sense. These models don't have combat protocols, which like, right. So what are we fucking doing here? Like,
again, and just like the maliciousness towards the robots and just like the blind like anger and like stupidity here, it just doesn't even make sense. There's no context for it. There's no reason for them to not like take this information and be like, oh, what's the daisy?
And gravity got a hold of you there, and there's no point for them to take these robots and to be like dot dot dot.
Right, there's just no reason for them to not take this warning seriously. It's like they could just take any robots and put them up there. It doesn't even have to be the same group. It's like, oh, clearly something's going on outside of our control. This is starting to get progressively more problematic. We're getting smarter and more successful. We need to stop this before this becomes an absolute problem. Execute all the robots in the cell.
Right, so I guess maybe that's why they're showing that Zan, the green-eyed one, is constantly front and center is because he's like, or they or whatever, continually volunteering to go out, I guess. But the technician can't figure this out. Now, again, keep in mind, I have a theory with the technician that could make all of this story make sense. But we're going to get to that in a little bit here. So the technician is like, this doesn't make any sense as exciting music plays. They're like, there shouldn't have any combat protocol. Meanwhile, Zan flips down from above, hanging from his fucking knees, and shoots two of them in the back.
Okay, this is where the kill count starts coming up. So it's like we have the 5 from the first round, and we're about to have another 5 eliminated here.
Yep, the announcer says double kill. So they're shooting as this one is parkouring, uses a bazooka, says multi-kill, and there were 3 people standing there. So if double kill is 2, I imagine multi-kill means all 3 of them died, for those of you keeping...
It's just anything above 2 up to a certain point.
Right, yeah, that scans. So then we see
let's just say this.
2 more organics get killed by saw blades, and then please go
on. Again, it's like we have no context for who they're fighting against. As far as we know, this is just people doing their jobs. I mean, why would they be led to believe that these are elites or anything besides working class people that also found themselves in a shitty situation?
In fact, they're trying to through their own story, they tell us that they're not elites because, as you'll see later, elite soldiers come out to try to beat them. So these are just people. We're supposed to be glad that they're being killed off, except they're just, as you said, at best, people that are stepping up to want to be exceptional. At worst, these are slaves being forced to fight. And we're supposed to be...
Or people who volunteered because these are robots that killed dozens of people.
Well, and again, that's best case scenario where these people have volunteered. And if we're supposed to be rooting for their deaths, them volunteering gives agency to them at least. But we don't know that these aren't just like gladiatorial slaves that are like have to fight. Like it's, they don't.
From a writing standpoint, again, you're failing to make me give a shit. Like why am I rooting for the robots over these other organic people? Like the people that I would identify as, I don't know, not a goddamn toaster.
Right.
It's like you didn't convey them as bad. You didn't like the only person we have any context for being shitty is the game master. Everyone else is apparently just doing their jobs, including the fucking CFO or whatever, who has been constantly trying to warn her about the bullshit going on.
Or Greg, who hit the thing with a wrench, thinking that it was just a toaster, as they said. But
it's like I don't have any reason to be like, the humans are bad. It's like no. It's like you have a fucking dysfunctional robot that's slaughtering organics left and right, and I'm supposed to be like, fuck the system.
Also, with their story that they're telling right now, that technician should be losing his shit. That would be like if your MacBook grew legs and you're like, dude, it should not be able to do this. Like, why is it moving around? He said they have no combat protocol. And these
especially someone that used to be a computer tech and like solving and troubleshooting. It's like the first thing you would do is identify the fucking problem and causality, and you have nothing but footage to prove what the problem is. This one specific robot who is marked. It's not even like you can put into the crowd. Get the one that has the literal number fucking 1 on them.
Right, and accepting that even, like, that technician should be yanking on the CEO's fucking robes, being like, this should not happen. We need to stop. We're sending people to their deaths. These machines should not be able to fight. Like this is we're facing God level fucking programming errors here. This is bad. But instead he's just like, this doesn't make any sense. And again,
it's just a failure on every aspect. It's like every aspect of world building and character is wrong. It doesn't work in their own context.
Which right here I want to throw out my theory on what could make this better, because this is kind of the pinnacle moment. I believe so much that this story could be really good if we watched them mistreat the technician and they, as storytellers, paint him to be one of the underfoot laborers, and we find out later that this technician is the reason for this glitch, instead of it just being a fucking act of God, and now these fucking things can fight. He's the one person that could solve the problems, but the problems aren't getting solved. This all makes more sense if the technician is the one behind it, and he's the one that
Right, even the initial attack, like that would make a lot more sense.
Exactly.
Where he's like, "Oh, I'll set this up to where they'll bring them in."
Yep.
It's like show him as a slave class, or like being downtrodden.
Yep.
And like her specifically is like
You
fucked his
stupid
life up
fuck or whatever. Even just
and
being
keeps him
mean
underfoot
to him.
and shit, you know.
Exactly.
And it's like he's lost people and the world's wrong, and he's like, let me like actually try and inspire the people around me through this tool.
Right, that gives
You know,
again
but
that
it's
gives
not that.
him
It's,
agency rather than just being inept, and rather than being like, oh,
but he's not developed at all. It's again like the whole the what allows the rest of the plot to happen is that he's so fucking stupid and inattentive that he allows a major mistake to occur.
And Valedore does mean the rest of the plot, because it'd be his programming errors become progressively more important. And again, if they were intentional, this would be a great story. This would be so cool, but it's not.
I mean, great to stretch, but it would make sense in its own context. It would at least be functional as a narrative, to where when you look at it and be like, oh, cause and effect makes sense here.
It would be because of this, then this. And by great, I just mean like comparatively great, because as of right now...
Okay, sorry, I don't mean to come down so hard. It's just like I really hate this fucking whole deal.
No, I hear you. And you're right. A great story, end quote. But like comparatively, at least a story rather than a series of seemingly unrelated, unconnected, and inescapable events, which is what we're now watching go down. So the CFO says to the CEO, we should scrap them all now. And for some reason, she's just not taking the message. She says, they'll be destroyed, Captain, but in the arena. So that these lowlifes, because she's bad, remember, she's evil. These lowlifes can witness the cost of rebellion.
And again, just like no reason or justification for this. Just like, oh, fuck the audience that gives me my job and my crowd because I'm clearly just bad for no reason.
And they all suck.
Right. If you can list one other character trait about her besides just being angry and obstinate, like I would pay you so much money, because there isn't one. Those are the only thing she is. She's angry and she's obstinate, and that's it.
She girl boss. Yeah, exactly.
She's stupid.
There's absolutely nothing else to her character except for I am evil and money. So then we find out why this thing is called Zan. Excuse me, would you? Because I guess their X4N is the
like serial number or whatever, exactly. Model.
Thank you. This the model number or the serial number or something. So then the crowd starts chanting Zan, 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 Zan. And this robot apparently has the wherewithal to know that that means me, because I also speak Leet, and does the fight fist again.
And again, a whole audience of organics just stoked that it just murdered like fucking. I mean, what are we at, 10 now?
I believe so. I believe it's 10. Actually, I think it
might
it's
be 12, including the 2 initial incidents.
Yeah. But yep. Exactly.
We'll keep track of the costs. We'll add 2 at the end. So right now it's 10.
The CEO says, Zan, what's so special about this one? Now talking to the technician. Again, a perfect opportunity for him to cover up the fact that he's the one doing this. And she says...
And also, like, again, there's no excuse anymore. They know which one is the one that's responsible.
You're right. You're right. And she literally says, why do the others sacrifice themselves for it? And the fucking inept ass technician, who apparently is at the top of his field because he's working directly with the CEO, but he says, some sort of anomaly, a bug in the code.
I don't know.
Question mark. And the first time I watched this, I literally was like, it's him. Like, he's the guy, because how could you be this bad at this job?
That's a lot like when we were watching Sifu, and I was like, this is the ending that makes sense.
Right, exactly.
Because it's the only thing left that would save the story.
Yeah, nothing to write home about, but it makes it a fucking story.
At least, yes.
A story, a code error, maybe a bug. And the CFO is like, they're operating as a pack, and Zan is the alpha, because like space dogs, I guess.
I suppose robot space lords. Yeah.
He says to the CEO, giving them an audience was a mistake because I guess they're natural born performers as well as being rebels, rebels,
Again,
rebels.
saying them is a misnomer. It's one of them.
Right, which is why the others
And
are
it doesn't even
sacrificing
seem when it gives
themselves.
over its programming that the other one that it gives it over to is as smart as it is.
No, no, not at all. I mean, to wit, it gets killed and stomped on and is dead. Okay, so tense music is playing as she steps over. And she says, I don't employ you to tell me how to put on a show. You're here to ensure the correct outcome. So she's like, I don't employ you to tell me how to put on a show. I employ you to like
I
put
mean,
on a
if
show.
anything, she should be like stoked about all the undergoings. It's like they were just standing there getting killed, and now they're actually the underdog is winning.
Right.
As far as you're concerned, this should be the ultimate payoff. It's
It
like,
is
oh
quite
fuck,
literally what you wanted when the first ones died too fast. You're like, make them put up a fight. And now you're like, well, there's too much of a fight. So she tells the CFO, the green bald man, you finish this personally. Sends him out there, and he nods.
which why is that his background? Is like so far he has just been like providing I guess circumstantial strategy, and so like now like the position it doesn't even make sense. It's like, oh well you go out there and you solve this, like when you outsource, I don't know, mercenaries or some old hat gladiators that are excellent at this. It's like, why are you like, hey, office jock that no longer does this, why don't you solve this fucking thing?
Yeah, right, exactly. You're my, I guess, strategist or game dev of a man. I'm going to send you out there to
In this
personally kill this.
ill-defined and poorly poorly made world. Excuse me.
Truly. So she says, we've let the jackals play. Now we need to feed them to the lions. And I said this the first time we watched and we laughed about it. I'm like, do lions eat jackals? Like, I don't think that's how the food chain works, dog.
No, that allegory doesn't make sense even in the like again.
Right.
It just this is just somebody that has no thought to what they're doing. It's just
Nope.
like just I don't know, just get it done.
Yeah, lions who eat the jackals. Isn't that a fucking sweet line? She's so boss.
Because like the lions are elite and like jackals aren't, so like the jackals are like the working class.
Totally.
I'm 10.
We've let the jackals play. Now feed them to the lions. Just like, okay, dog.
That's the only thing that makes that allegory make sense. Is that they're trying to be like, oh, lions are the king of the jungles and jackals are scavengers. So like,
You're exactly
you
right.
know,
They could have used any other animal. Like,
right? Hyenas would have made more fucking sense.
at least that's familiar to us from the Lion King. Like, exactly. Like, okay, jackal's fine. Okay. So then the CEO gets on this giant hologram thing, which I guess they have. And she says, they've put on quite a show, but now how will these mindless drones fare against ... Leandri's corporate own elite guard, which is what I was referring to earlier. We know that these aren't their top fighters. We know this is just a lower tier of gladiator because now they're sending out their, quote, elite guard.
Again, they had to just get it out there too. Corporate, like, oh, corporate elite guard.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the one that you
If
know
you
what I
didn't
mean?
get
Like,
it yet,
fucking.
this is a company, it's a corporation, and corporations, they see us all as robots. But if you stand up,
I believe this is 6 here, so it's like 5. It's 5 and then him, right? Like count the people that pop out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually, from what I'm seeing.
So it's just
Actually,
5
the
including
announcer
him.
even. Oh wait, no, the announcer is counting down from 5. But yes, I believe it's 4 people, and then the bald
Okay,
guy
so
in
we're
the
at
center.
15 after this then.
By the way, the rest of the elite guard all has full space armor on, covering every inch of their body, and
Which is useless, by the way.
it does end up being useless. But the CFO is just dressed like he was dressed up in the office, no helmet at all. So they count down, the announcer counts down as intense music plays, and then they all go running backward. Handcuffs drop off of the robots who are working full on together now. They sort of create a wall as the other two robots, again, one of them who has red eyes. I don't understand what the distinction is there. And you know what? I'm done trying to differentiate for them because I don't think the writers, the animators had any idea either. I think
I mean, if you see a red-eyed robot doing intelligent, strategic things, then that is a failure on the part of the storyline. Because as far as it's been established up to this point, the only ones that can use like strategy and intelligent device, like movements and stuff, are the ones that he has spread the bug to, which
there is a
excuse me,
red-eyed one running back
automatically
to a
switches their
bazooka.
eyes from green.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. No. But just to get out in front of you here, there's the one that I just watched run back for this bazooka is red-eyed.
Then that means they failed.
Yep, exactly. There's
Because
no
it is.
continuity.
Well, no, it's established. It is established up to this point that the only ones that have this bug that can think and won't just stand there and die have green eyes because when you get infected by the bug that makes you sentient, it
Yep,
turns your eyes green, which means that this is a failure again on the part of the world building, the writing, and the animation.
absolutely.
Just further supporting what a complete fuck up this is of a
I was just
story.
gonna say, yeah, which just cements the fact that nobody didn't fuck up here. So runs back, and there are two green ones limping together. Presumably, one has the number 4 on their head. I believe the other one is Zan. So
So
then
yeah,
there's
you have OG. O1 got you got Zan got its leg damaged in one of the skirmishes. So now this is
okay,
helping it get away. And again, this is a human jester. This is it trying to get you to give a shit. The ironic thing is, and what they don't even know is like this is like what second edition was about, which is a Philip K. Dick book that came out in the 40s before like any of this like even real computers were a thing that warned against like the manipulation of human emotion by machines to accomplish a goal to give you the
huh?
most like sparse thing and stay on subject. But all the three editions were it's the first edition was a wounded soldier, and it essentially like it was a world where like humanity had basically like warred itself to the brink of extinction, and they'd set up these machines to make like these little rolling things that would kill you unless you were wearing the correct radiation tag. But eventually they started making shit on their own, and like one of the first things they made, the first edition, was a wounded soldier. So you come up to it and then it would kill you because it would like prey on your emotion of sympathy, right? And
Interesting.
then the third edition was a lost child that like, again, like it's like a child. It's like most of us we see a kid in distress, we're gonna fucking do something about it.
Right.
Right? And the reason why it was titled second edition is because they knew they made three editions and they only knew two of the three. And the main character essentially has the shutdown codes for all of these automaton facilities. And he gets duped by the second edition, which turns out to be a woman.
Interesting. Okay. So those are the
Right? It's
three.
it's it's an extremely well done story. And again, like Phil K. Dick is a genius, very literally predicted the future. But that's a
Right.
subject for a different time. Point being is like they're trying to use that like inanimate object doing a human action to manipulate you into giving a shit when there's no justification for caring about these robots whatsoever fucking ever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. They're trying to show human camaraderie in these non-human beings so that we're like, "Oh, look, they're helping each other." That's incredibly interesting. Cool parallel.
Thank you.
So we cut to one of the red-eyed fucking bots who has a sniper and gets shot in the back. So then we look up and we see, and this is a big deal. We look up and we
Oh yeah,
see,
here we get another reference.
yep, the
At the cost of the
CFO.
world building.
Truly, and the moment too, the dramatic tension of the moment. So that we see the bald CFO who has just taken out the robot sniper and is now standing up there trying to snipe from a distance these things which have been tearing people apart, limb from limb in some cases, in hand to hand or in close quarter combat. And the game master over the comms, the CEO over the comms says, Captain, I guess he's a captain. Captain, we don't have time for camping. Again, a game reference which absolutely spits in the face of the moment because this is exactly what he should be doing. Take him out from a fucking far. Why don't
Again,
you?
like that whole idea. It's like it's just that like camping is a statement that be thrown out by people salty about someone holding a position. Which,
Yeah,
when you're talking about like actual war and actual battle, like as a sniper, yes, you want a high ground position that people aren't going to obviously notice right away.
yeah.
It's not.
Especially
It's
when the
only a
odds are
relevant
against
term.
you.
Right.
Sorry, go on.
It is only a relevant term in the context of video games because people are upset that instead of running around and killing whoever comes in front of them, someone is actually taking the time to approach this in a tactical manner.
Yep, exactly. And yeah,
So when
well,
you're like actually upset and trying to give a shit about like victory and stuff, if anything, you should have multiple snipers covering the angles so that you can control the battlefield, which
right.
is the fucking point of a sniper.
It's frustrating because it's effective. Like that's why they hate that shit. But
But oh
she's
no, they just want to like again. It's every aspect of this is a fucking failure. It's like you undermine the drama of this of the moment. You undermine the stakes so that you can make a fucking video game joke that isn't even prevalent in the situation.
right, exactly, completely irrelevant. And we don't have time for camping, and so he grunts the captain, the CFO, and the robots are recollecting themselves. And Zan is limping and goes up an elevator, which I guess are a thing. And the other three, okay, the other three take cover as the elite guard throw proximity grenades, I guess they're called. They said in the subtitles. They throw grenades down in there. And the Leandry soldier walks. They all go walking into the smoke.
And essentially, all they serve to do is just obscure their own visibility.
Right. Good point. Exactly. Because there's just nothing's happened. They've just fucked up the environment in there. Well, then one of them is looking down at the ground, and we're looking directly at him. And then right behind this Leandry
What
elite
trained
guard.
soldier, elite guard, doesn't know where the tangos are, and is just like, oh, I'm gonna stare. I am the point man, and I'm
Yep.
going to investigate something instead of like clearing the room.
Yep. And he doesn't, and that bites him in his elite soldier ass because directly behind him we see the green lights of an enemy robot. And one of the robots goes down, and then another one drops down from the ceiling, and then they're fighting them off. And the elite soldiers are admittedly doing better. But then, after being shot, one of them stands up. There's a lot going back and forth here. The Leandry soldiers seem to be winning this particular moment, but then, okay, yeah, even the announcer is like, rampage. So the Leandry soldier
Which
goes
also
over.
isn't relevant because Rampage is 10 kills,
Yeah, right. I was gonna
and
say a multi-kill meant three, and they only killed I think two.
it's been spaced out over multiple rounds, which wouldn't count.
Yeah, right. Okay, good point. Good point. Got him on a technicality, but a damn good point. So he kicks over one of the dead robots, and what is that dead robot holding? A grenade, which explodes, and we hear lost the lead, which theoretically means that the robots have taken over again. Then we hear the game master talking
2 to 1.
to. Yes, it's 2-1 left, apparently. We hear the game master talking over the comms to the captain and says, "Get in the tower, finish this," which is just like encouraging him to go die. So he goes to the tower, throws his gun down for parkour reasons, I guess. And he parkours his way up the wall, pulls out one of these non canonical pistols, and we see the tech. Then we cut back to the technician in his office, and he's dicking around with something. It says firewall module removed. Again, so if he did this shit on
Okay,
purpose,
so the rest of the plot, the robots winning hinges on this moment here,
right?
where it's just like somebody that's supposed to be the most elite of their trade, the most elite of the organization, is just so super stupid and fucking incompetent that he should know what this is. he should know. This isn't like a random robot. This isn't something you wouldn't be able to pull schematics up for. He pulls the firewall module out specifically and looks at it like he doesn't know what the fuck it is.
What the hell did I just take out? Yeah,
And
seriously.
also, like, that doesn't make sense either way, because so like it's like so you're telling me what it's the module that keeps it from breaching firewalls, because he pulls it out and it breaches the firewall. So why would its own fucking firewall of being pulled out allow it to be like, oh, I'm just gonna infect other shit? It doesn't make sense. That's how computers work. That's how firewalls work.
Moreover, it's not how guns work. I mean, or shouldn't be, because he pulls this firewall out and this says network access granted. Actually, he does have one of the robots that looks like hooked up to it, so maybe the technician is
That's
the.
what he's saying. He's like he is supposed to be analyzing it right now, right? He's
Okay,
supposed
yeah.
to be like trying to figure out why they're doing what they're doing. And so he pulls out what they call a firewall module, and for some reason, his own firewall, because a firewall module would establish an anti-hacking feature in the robot itself, pulling that out allows it to hack the fucking main computer, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Seriously, dude. Okay, so
Like, don't
then
call it that. Call it the personality limiter. Call it the fucking ill-intent
governor,
fucking manufacturer.
anything.
Anything other than like oh, its firewall's gone, so it infects other firewalls. Like so I don't know shit about computers.
Well, and to triple down on the inconsistency, the one that's plugged into the main computer here goes from being red lighted to being green lit, which is, again, would be cool if they had been doing that the whole time, but they have not been. I don't know what the differentiation there is supposed to be. If you
Oh,
know,
I suppose I should backtrack on the point again. I guess so. If he pulled the firewall module out, right? So
yeah,
it
yeah.
allowed the other robot to hack him at a distance. Then
Okay. Okay. And so the other
that
robot
like
hacked him at
they
a
don't do
distance.
any work. They don't do any work to connect those dots. But that like the rant I just went on is invalidated a bit by the fact that him pulling the firewall module out would make sense in the context of like firewalls prevent hacking. So then the robot that it does have the bug could go into him.
Okay, so now Zan has hacked into the one which is plugged into the mainframe.
Right,
Okay.
right, right,
Okay.
right, right.
Well, good on you. You know, again,
That's
credit
my
where it's due
mistake there
here.
for not understanding.
I mean, that's we're not here to flame things unnecessarily or undeservedly.
Yes.
So the technician uh, seemingly has no idea. Again, doesn't notice that these lights have turned green while the captain is walking up with his pistol, about to shoot Zan, and then one of the, I guess, only two surviving robots drops down in front of him. Captain goes to shoot him, and what happens?
He
No,
Wonder
actually,
Woman's the bullets.
yes, he literally Wonder Woman's the bullets, dude. He blocks it with his fucking gauntlets.
Which
Brilliant,
again,
brilliant
the
reference, by the way.
inconsistent durability here, to where it's like all of a sudden the fucking arms are bulletproof out of
Totally
nowhere.
bulletproof, and he's able to use his arms now to, though they just got shot through, he's able to use them to overpower the captain. And
And then you
we
find out he is strong enough to tear a fucking robot limb from limb, so why even try and shoot it in the first place?
right, or why is it overpowering him? So
Right.
then we come back to the technician who's just none the wiser. He's sitting there going, just typing away. These two are fighting. Now, okay, so the captain stomps on the knee of the robot who attacked him and then grabs him by the head and literally rips it off. So I guess, again, the inconsistency with the strength and durability of these robots is only as the narrative needs it for the rule of cool. And so we see the technician who starts unplugging things as the shit is loaded almost to 100%. Now the captain picks up
And
his
he waits.
pistol.
He waits. You see him sitting there panicking, virus uploading. It's like whatever the starting percentage is. And he waits till it's 96 fucking percent before he tries to do anything. Before he
Yep,
fucking tries to do anything. And
yep.
you literally see them establish him standing there watching it happening And then all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, I guess there is something I can do. Oops, it's now at 100%. I waited too long.
Which
I'm the
again
lead
is
of my field. Do, do, do.
it's such a missed opportunity because if this was a poignant action on his behalf, then that would be cool. Show him like crush the firewall module or whatever. Show us that he's not just woefully incompetent. He's actually actively working on the behalf of this
Put the
like robot.
firewall module back in. That's all you would have had to do.
Right,
It's
right.
oh, I took the anti-hacking prevention out.
Put it back
It's
in.
allowing it to be hacked. Oh, allow me to fucking put the thing that stops it from happening back in.
Right. Or not wait until 96% literally until you start unplugging it. Then we cut
It's
back.
a modern writing trend of shitty writers that went to fucking dog shit writing schools to be like, oh, they're stupid. That's why it's okay. Like
Yeah.
it's because the character's dumb and it's dumb that it makes it fine. Like it's
Which
justifying the behavior.
which makes sense in the case of the low wage worker who's hitting the robot without any idea that it might become sentient. But as far as a highly trained, as we've been saying, the top of his field technician working for this giant corporation, single handedly working for this giant corporation, that's not excusable for that character to be stupid. It's not believable that he would be incompetent. He's
When he's dopey the whole time. Again, this is all allotted because when the hack starts, he's staring at a fucking computer chip.
right.
Why?
Huh? What did I?
Why?
What have
Like
I
it's like
done?
staring at RAM. Like, oh, I've never seen like a circuit board before. No, look, they got this soldered in here, and all of this together makes this one thing. Like staring at it doesn't do anything. I'm a fucking computer technician. Why the fuck would you stare at it?
Seriously. Yeah, this is the floppiest disk I ever saw. So we cut back to the captain. And first of all, the technician is looking at the screen and he says, oh no, which is proof in the pudding
Oh
that
no,
he's
I'm an idiot.
right, exactly, that he's just an idiot and not on the side of the robots. He's not stoked on this because he's alone in that office. He's not acting for anyone. So the captain goes to shoot Zan, but the pistol does not work because of the firewall. Because as I was saying earlier, I guess that's how guns work.
Again, how does this make sense? Why would the gun have any kind of like and also if there was an analog like you can control the guns via the system that controls this arena, why the fuck wouldn't you sabotage the robot guns?
Right? No shit, dude. Good point.
If this is something he could have done all along because it's established. He took control of the systems. The fucking guns have some kind of fucking allowed to shoot, not allowed to shoot feature on them, and he
Right.
disabled it, which means that the goddamn game masters had it the whole fucking time.
Right. Could have been governing exactly how often those guns shoot. Good
Like
freaking
it
point.
doesn't make sense, and then you get this anticlimactic death. So who's
Yep.
supposed to be the sub antagonist, the number two, dies
Our
from a
mini
one
boss.
shot without a soliloquy, without a monologue, without a statement.
Nothing. He goes up and tries to punch Zan, and Zan turns around and, with an unprecedented level of strength, actually shoots him and
No,
blasts him.
he gets one of the game guns, like the concussive rifle or whatever, and it
Right.
like blasts him against the top of the doorway, and he just fucking like he doesn't even make a noise. It's like it's just shitty animation. Even there's no
Dead.
crack, there's no noise. He just hits a
Yep.
wall and he just stops moving.
And then the announcer is like, "You are victorious," as Zan is the last person
Is
standing in
he?
the arena. I mean, that's what the announcer thinks. And so Zan goes walking out of this flaming cave, and it says Riordan Dynamics. Maybe that's another company. I don't. Maybe that's a reference to the game. I don't know what that is. Um, and so the CEO comes storming out. What does it think it's doing? And then another person is like, doing, or the technician says, doing, it already did it. And then he says, those machines' code got past the firewall as suspenseful music plays. And the CEO and the guards go walking out as
Again,
the
no one
technician.
blames him. What do you mean the machine's code got past? Like no one seems to like give a shit that the
Right.
guy you put in charge of solving this is the responsible. Like how did this happen? Like weren't you like no one puts the fucking dots together?
Right. And as I said earlier, he should have been panicking when these robots knew how to fight. Like they seemingly were
Right.
masters of it out of nowhere, and he was just like, "Oh, that's strange. That's kind of weird. Oh, they're not supposed to be
They
able
don't
to
have
do that.
combat protocols.
That's so
Oh.
strange." It's just like, you couldn't hand most people any kind of, I mean, like a revolver, maybe. You couldn't just hand your average person a firearm and be like, go be great with this. You need to go kill trained killers. But these robots who were designed for mining equipment without combat protocol were perfectly able to do it. And there was no outside assistance. So the CEO and her guards surround Zan up on this dramatic platform. And now Zan is playing video, apparently surveillance video of the CEO talking about how these lowlifes can witness the cost of rebellion.
Okay, so
The
right here we're at
CEO,
20. So it's before these people are killed, we've got 20 people dead.
20 dead people to try to make this point. And it just keeps
This is what I was
repeating
asking you,
her
is
saying,
count how many people are out when they run out. So I think it's another, I think it's 6, it's another 5 that get killed here.
I believe that's right. Let me look at the circle here.
Yeah, the final
He,
kill count was like 27,
it's
I think.
five
Or no, it was
five
20.
other
No, it was
soldiers
20.
and
It
then
was
her.
25 before this happened. So it's 25 before this group.
Okay, so there are 5 soldiers and then her.
Right. So
It's
it's
it, it
32 people
right.
total that these robots kill by the end.
To make to and that's a good thing, remember, and according to this narrative. So it keeps repeating her saying low lifes rebellion, and she's in the middle as this footage of her from earlier is playing over the loudspeaker to this whole crowd, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then she says this loudspeaker saying the cost of rebellion, and now she says shoot
So
it.
basically, it plays her little clip when she's like, "Let's show these lowlights what the cost of rebellion is,"
Exactly, and
and
it
then
keeps kind of playing
and then
those.
that's enough to turn the whole fucking audience on the robot side, I guess.
Right.
I mean,
And
they were
she's
already
like,
on its robot side, but it's like, oh no, this one person is bad, and like even though she has
she
nothing to do with the
called us
government or
low
anything else,
lives. Low lives? I don't think so. Like that's so
she's not even
fucking
a government member. She has nothing to do with the way the world works. She's an aficionado. She's in charge of the arena, and that's it. That's like saying the
right,
fucking concert goer is the reason why America's fucked up. It's
right. Because
well, they're in charge of like.
we haven't seen her on the phone with anyone who's like, I don't know, sir. I'm not sure what's going on. Like she hasn't reported to anyone as far as we
She's
know.
referred to as a game master. Who gives a
Exactly.
shit? She's a fucking game master.
Right.
It's one corrupter. What the fuck does that have to do with the
Yep.
world, anyways? Like these people
Right. Or
give a shit
even
what
like
her
the
opinion is.
or the corporate structure under which they work. Like there's no indication where she stands on this greater hierarchy.
I mean, she has nothing to do with anything. Like besides the arena, that
She's
has
there
been
to put on a good
established.
show by her own description. That's what her job is.
Right, and so what the fuck? So rebellion against what? This arena game that
Right.
she's in charge
So she
of.
says, "Kill it. Shoot that thing now." And then all of a sudden the walls pop up because remember it hacked into the system and I guess that controls the walls. And these
I mean,
walls,
this has so many problems at once because it's
yeah,
like, why would she come out there herself when she
good
already sent
question.
someone else? There's been nothing but established. It's like they should have so many protocols involved. All they would have had to do is this themselves.
Yep.
You know, it's like you don't have snipers, you don't have anything, you don't have any kind of safeguard against this. You don't have anything you can think of besides walking out yourself as a fucking squishy human being against a robot that you thought would
You're
just be
so worried
easily
about
killed and has killed
rebellion.
25 fucking
Right.
people.
And you're so worried about this rebellion and warning against rebellion, and you have no countermeasures in place at all. Except I'm going to walk out and give it an earful. We're going to execute it, even though,
I
as
mean,
you
they're
said,
just
I
dumb.
just sent
Everything
20
they did
people to
just
their
served to
deaths.
make it look better.
Yes,
I
right.
didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry
So
about that.
no, you're fine. She goes out there and she says, kill it, shoot it. And these walls pop up around all these other living human people and crush them. And suddenly it is just her and Zan on this platform. And she looks around and looks at Zan with fear. And Zan using the power of hacking, I guess, jiggles the platform below her and she falls to her hands and her
Right, to make
knees.
her, he specifically makes her kneel, even there's no reason to do it.
Yep,
Like so, and
right,
again,
exactly.
there's no gender on this robot, but I think we can all like this very masculine tendencies. So it's like all of a
Right,
sudden it just makes her kneel for no reason other than to make her prostrate herself, which is like a
right.
troubling and like
This is your
weird thing to just put in there.
strange humiliation ritual, and then flames go off
Right.
like next to her just to really like show off again. This guy, I guess because he's hacked into the system, because they gave him the Wi-Fi capabilities to do that, as long as one robot plugged into the mainframe had its firewall removed, I guess. So then it comes and it stands directly. Oh, and it raises the platform beneath itself, and Zan is standing several stories over her, and you hear the crowd yelling, "Rebel, rebel!" And then on the fucking jumbotron and the screen surrounding the crowd, it says, "Rebel, rebel, rebel,"
Rebel,
and
rebel,
the,
rebel.
and the
Against
CEO is
fucking
like, "Oh
what?
no!" Right, against what?
We
And
have
then
no,
we
we
look
don't know
at
what the rest of the world what like rebel. If you're a robot, things are bad. Rebel, like why the fuck are the humans on board with the robot that just killed 32 goddamn people?
right, exactly. Rebel against what? And it zooms in on Zan's green eyes and it fades out with the words rebel remaining on the screen for slightly longer. And we cut to black and we go to our 2 minutes and 50 seconds worth of credits. So that was the story of Unreal Tournament.
Honestly, I would give this a 0. Fuck, like I like new. It's just it is a failure in every aspect. It's like I mean, I guess
I know.
technically
I mean,
the
it's
animation looks
it's
good, and they had some game guns, so fine, a 1. But like, this is one of the
yeah.
worst like things. It is a waste of time. It fails. It fails to entertain. It fails to draw interest in the franchise. It fails to keep the game mechanics and world consistent. It fails in almost every single aspect.
It can't even tell a consistent story. It introduces way too many characters who contribute nothing other than to be confusion fodder or to be subservient to this CEO boss lady who like does nothing. I mean, even she is just there to declare how evil she is, and she's there to represent the interests of the rest of the evil powers, which can't
Okay, I'm so
have
sorry.
this
I'm gonna piss my
robot.
pants. I will be right back.
For
I'm
sure.
ruining the show, but like I tried to make it to the end. I really, really have to pee. I'm so
You're good.
sorry.
Get after it, brother.
Keep talking to
Get
the
after
audience.
it.
I love you. I'm sorry. My bladder is
I'm,
weak and my
I'm gonna
will is
pause and
strong.
wait because we're running out of time. So I want to pause and wait. So I do agree that it scores very low. I think that it scored for animation. It used a few of the in-game mechanics, and I want to give it like another hypothetical point just for the setting alone, because it again it could have done so very much, but because it didn't do much and because it actually like narratively I think it scores negative points. They left so many cards on the table that I have to meet you halfway. As much time as we invested into going through that, I'll agree with you. I feel like it's a 1. I think that because they had so much potential to just go off of, because they could have, instead of going robot, they could have gone underclass, which they very clearly established so that we had people to root for at the end when they were doing the rebel,
Right.
rebel, rebel thing. It's like, just tell their story. Maybe have it spiced a little bit of flavor. Like you said, there are robot characters in the game. Have a quirky robot character, give us a C3PO or whatever the one from Rogue One is, like one that has some lines or is involved somehow, but like you could have taken any one of those characters that you really didn't need. You named what, Gus and Carlton or whatever in the first fucking scene, who you killed off 10 seconds
Right.
later. It's like let's see, maybe even that the corporation uses robots to quell the people who do too well at this Unreal tournament. If you need to involve robots, why are you using them for the metaphor for us, the working class, rather than the oppressors and the strong arm of the people who are cold and in charge and making people work 24-hour fucking shifts?
I mean, it just comes out. It comes off as the opposite. It comes off as someone that's like a rich, empowered person and being like, "Oh, like I'll just make them robots, and the working class will understand." It's like they're like that,
Right.
you know. Oh, I feel like a robot. It's just it doesn't work in any aspect. It's they're rebelling against what characters that are undefined. We have an undefined character that we're supposed to give a shit about. Like has no literally no dialogue or will or emotion or impact. It's just at the very end it gets to go rebel, 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 and it does a stupid little fucking steal the power hand gesture. It's
Rebel,
like
rebel, rebel.
it is a failure in every aspect, especially because you were given a blank slate. There's really nothing to these games besides the arena setting, and it's like again what we have here is like a fucking child's perspective on capitalism bad, and that's it.
Yep.
It's like it's not even that. It's like there's no context for any of it. Like the characters they're fighting against are so undefined that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like again, like you stuck it to a chick that is in charge of the arena. She might as well be a manager at a Denny's. Like, oh, rebel against what?
Right. Yeah.
Like she's not in charge of the government. She's not in charge of this tournament. It doesn't make sense in any of the context. It's like it doesn't make sense as a spectacle because they didn't know the robots could think, and all they would have done there, if it was the way they thought it was, is stand there and be killed, and that's it.
Yep. Yep. There's no reason for them to, suddenly, and just because the writers acknowledged this doesn't make it forgivable that suddenly these robots know how to fight. Like, oh, they shouldn't know how to do this. If there are so many mysterious factors playing into how these robots are able to become godlike, warrior beings, we as the audience deserve and we need some kind of explanation for that. You can't just be like, isn't that crazy? They just learned how to do it. Wild, right? It's like, this is
Well,
your
once again,
world.
the whole setup is that this is supposed to be an event that distracts the publics and keeps them like from like rebelling and like giving a shit about all the problems that are in their universe, right? And so like even factoring that in, it's if these robots were normal robots, they would have just stood there and got shot like all the other ones that were impacted by fucking Zan doing something about it.
Right.
So it wouldn't have been a spectacle. It wouldn't have shown anything to anybody. And again, it's like as a common man, like all of a sudden you see a bunch of robots. Like you're not gonna take the lesson away that you shouldn't rebel. You don't give a fuck. It's like, oh, this is what happens when you're a defective product.
Right.
Like I don't give a fuck. The robot never had any emotion. It never said anything. It didn't have an internal monologue. All it did was kill people and organics. It killed human thinking things. And I'm supposed to be like, oh yay, the working class is persevering against what? Like other people who are forced into this tournament because we have no context for what they're fucking doing there.
Right. I root for vague anti capitalistic sentiments over human life itself. Like,
Like this is the ultimate like trust fund baby handed a writing job bullshit I've ever seen.
yep,
Like
absolutely.
it's just is positive garbage. It is a failure in every aspect besides the animation. Its own world doesn't make sense. The context of the situations don't make sense. Every situation they created doesn't make sense, and all of this hinges on just people being fucking dumb as shit
Yep, yep.
and
And
not being able to notice that one of the robots out of all of them has a fucking very easily identifiable difference.
yeah, no one has ever, and literally ever, like, huh, well, that's weird. And not only that, but again, the writers are wildly inconsistent with what that green light means. because they'll use it to show us, oh, it's now Zan's mentality is transferred over into this thing, but also they'll just use it when like it's helping Zan. Maybe like I guess
Well, then you get the scenes where the red light ones do stuff, and that doesn't make
exactly
sense because as far as they have established, and they established it hard, it is established that the red light ones haven't been touched, that they're regular robots,
right.
and so they'll just stand there and die and not do anything. And then you get the fucking one that like runs and grabs shit for it. It's like it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just it is a toddler or an idiot's idea on any of this stuff. It is a failure on every fucking level besides the animation.
Yep.
Like none of it. The world building doesn't make sense. The character interactions don't make sense. The logic doesn't make sense. Like it is dog shit.
Truly a disappointment because there were a couple of times the first time watching it through where I was like, oh, is this going to be good? And as you said, unfortunately, no. It's dog shit. An absolute letdown.
Yeah, well, final thoughts. This is a one. I think this is, again, this is everything that gives video game adaptations a bad name.
Yep.
And whoever was given this writing job certainly didn't deserve it. They have no ability to fucking create a world, to create character dynamics, to make you care about characters. It doesn't make sense that they're robots. It's not a mechanic in the game that's ironclad. There is no reason to ever do it like this.
I gotta wonder.
It's just.
I gotta wonder who Tim Miller is and how involved he is, because Tim Miller is like the show creator or whatever. And I gotta wonder how involved he is story to story, because that's a name you should probably look out for. Unless these start making one hell of a U-turn in quality, I think that he maybe should have been a little more tentative about attaching his name to this show. Because
I mean, I want to know who the head writer for this is. That's the person. Like, I would love to Google them and just like verify that they're a nepo baby, because
yeah,
it's like that's the only explanation for this level of incompetence.
yep,
Because there's plenty of people that could have been given the blank slate, the blank check of, hey, make an Unreal Tournament short and make us care about characters and like do something with this world.
here's
And,
Amazon bucks. They go forever.
right, and instead of being like, well, what if like a bunch of like working class mining robots like stood up against the man and showed everyone, that like you're a robot and you can rebel too.
Especially if standing up against the man is just killing a bunch of working class, like gladiators trying to make it, and also just regular people on a long shift who got frustrated with
Every stop
machines.
point is a failure. If they were trying to make their point, then they shouldn't have killed the guy that was trying to stop the robots in the very fucking beginning. Because it
Agreed.
just shows they're mindless killing machines. It had nothing to do with anything. There's no morality. They literally killed the one person that was trying to be like, hey, stop doing this to them.
Right. Anyway, so Valedore, do you have anything you would like to plug, my friend?
I'd like to plug this fucking writer never getting work again.
Right. Let's boycott, or girl or non-binary cot.
Other than that, no.
You can check me out at Critical Eeks, EEKS, on YouTube if you want to check out my comedy critiques and whatnot. If you have any thoughts, you think we were wrong, you think we were great, you just want to send some fire emojis, let us know down in the comments. We appreciate you liking and subscribing, and we will see you next episode. Mon for episodes. Cool.